All right, so today I'm going to go over the best drills at each swing position, each checkpoint, P1 through P9. And I know what you're thinking. You don't want to be the guy at the range with 8 pool noodles, 6 alignment sticks, and 5 balls, looking like you're in some sort of made up contraption. I promise you're not going to look like that. I made sure to pick a simple drill for each spot. That is not what I'm going to have you look like, I promise. P1, that's when you set up to the ball. We're going to keep it simple. Alignment sticks, my favorite drill. If your alignment's off, it's going to throw off the rest of your swing and you're not going to even know it. You have a tough time fixing it when all it is was alignment was the whole time. So you can use alignment sticks or you can just use clubs if you don't have alignment sticks. Either way, I put one in front of the ball to make sure my club face is pointed good at the target. And I put one at my feet to make sure my feet are correctly aligned. I might even pull it back slightly so I can really line my feet up across it. Okay, both look good. That's why I can take a swing. Again, it's easy for the alignment to go off, especially in the off season during the winter months. So definitely check the alignment. Use this drill when you're getting back into the season. So P2. P2 is when the club is parallel to the ground. Very simple drill for this one. You can do it with the club or without. Setting up, club is parallel to the ground. I'm trying to shake someone's hand. That's going to be the ideal spot you want to be in P2. Okay. Again, club parallel, shaking someone's hand. That's going to ensure that your club face is in a good position. It's going to ensure that your arms are extended and you're not trying to bend your wrists a certain way in the takeaway. Now we're on to P3. P3 is going to be when your arm is parallel to the ground in your backswing. My favorite drill for this is going to be the ball between the elbows. I'm sure you guys have seen this and plenty of you have done it. But what it does is it keeps everything together in your takeaway and gets you to a good position to set up the rest of your swing. If you're trying to bend your wrists or move your arms a certain way, that ball's going to drop. Versus keeping everything together, extended, keep that club face controlled. And again, I just like taking little swings with the ball. I usually don't do full swings, but even little swings like this. That way I can really feel that takeaway. P4, top of the backswing. I'm going to reiterate what I said in my last video about hip sway, but I think it is the most common flaw among golfers, and this is my favorite drill to work on it. So you're going to set up against the wall. Your trail hip's going to be right on that wall, and you're going to imitate going to the top of your backswing, and that hip's going to come off the wall. If your hip stays or tries to go through it, that means you're doing it incorrectly. Again, that hip needs to come off the wall, and then as you go forward, it keeps going through. P5. P5 is when your arm is parallel to the ground in the downswing. My favorite drill for this, again, just an alignment stick. You don't need this basket. I only have it because I'm indoors. If I was outdoors, I'd just stick an alignment stick in the ground. Basically, what you're aiming for here is when you start your downswing, you don't want to start by going over the top. You're going to hit the alignment stick if you do that with this drill. What you want is you want that club to nicely drop down, stay inside the hands, and that way you're swinging in to out, again, getting away from slices or fades. So if I'm doing this correctly, I'll miss the alignment stick. Even though this drill might not look like much, a lot of people struggle with the transition starting their downswing. That's where a lot of players who fade or slice the ball struggle. This is going to be a huge drill to help, along with the next drill I'm going to talk about at P6. P6, this is when the club is now parallel to the ground in your downswing. This is the checkpoint right before you make impact with the ball and go into your follow through. So P6, my favorite drill is going to be a club head cover on the ground. You can see I have it in a straight line. I have it starting right at the ball and going back from there. Because again, if I swing out to in, I'm going to hit it. If I swing in to out, I'm not going to hit that club head cover. Now, main reason you might think this would be more like an impact drill or P7. It's P6 because it affects the way you're swinging around that P6 area. And when you're doing this, honestly, a really good way to practice it is taking little half swings, especially if you're struggling with slicing. So what I would do is I'd take this club back, pretend you're in your downswing so that club head's slightly inside of the hands, and just take little chip shots, working on not hitting that club head cover. P7 is when you make contact with the ball or impact. My favorite drill is going to be, I just call it the towel drill for me. You can place something even smaller like a tee just right behind the ball. But basically what it gets you to do is keep your low point slightly in front of the ball. That way you're hitting down on the ball versus hitting behind it and chunking the ball, having all sorts of contact that you don't like. So again, I use a towel just because I like the bigger visual, and I'm exaggerating it a little. You can see I have it pretty close to the ball. Never a bad thing if you're struggling with contact to exaggerate it at first. Next up is P8, and that's when the club is parallel to the ground in the follow through. This is probably my favorite drill I'll go over because you get instant feedback on this. What you're going to do is you're going to put an alignment stick across the top of your club and have it so it extends past your rib cage. So if you see how I'm holding it right here, this is how you want to hold it. And you're just doing little half swings with this. So what I'm going to do, little half swing. And I'm trying to get this alignment stick to not puncture me in the rib cage and the follow through. If you do it incorrectly, it's going to hurt a little bit, but you're going to get that instant feedback and it's going to make you want to do it right. So if my wrist flips, you can see that alignment stick hit me. That keeps that club face square versus when your wrists are moving all over, that club face will move all over as well. P9 is the last checkpoint of your entire swing. It's after you completed your follow through and everything. A lot of people at this position, P8, P9, try and save their ball. It's not going to do anything for you. You already did the damage. So my favorite drill at P9, I just call it hold the finish. So what I'll do is I'll swing in 3 seconds up by my toe like this with the club wrapped around, and then I can let it down. What this does when you're holding the finish is it gets you used to swinging through and not trying to save your ball. Again, doing all this crazy stuff with your wrists or body or whatever it may be in the follow through. Even if you hit a bad shot, hold that finish. And then people you're golfing with, even if you hit a bad shot, you don't have to be embarrassed because it looks like you hit a good shot. All right, those were my favorite drills for every single position of the golf swing, P1 through 9. The best drills, in my opinion. If you're struggling with a certain area of your golf swing, hopefully this helps. I try to make it very specific. That way you can focus on that one checkpoint. Or if you have other drills that you might want me to add in a future video, let me know.